is day 184 of the year of streaming and learning to code. We are continuing on here at freeCodeCamp. We will be diving into... What section are we diving into? We finished off on add placeholder text to a field. Let's see if we can run this. Will it take us on to the next one? Shiver me timbers. And it is the same congratulatory No, maybe it's not the same congratulatory statement. It's not, because it was 27 yesterday. We're sort of already diving into stuff. Just hitting the ground running. For today, we've got limited time to stream. Hopefully, I think we've got about like 20-ish minutes or so to stream for tonight. So, yeah, good times. Anyways, I think we've seen that one 3 times now. Maybe they have more. Maybe it's just a random thing and we've run into that particular congratulatory statement multiple times. Who knows? We will find out, though. Let's do a quick rundown of everything to make sure we got all our bases covered. Mic audio, check. Webcam, check. Little kitty, check. freeCodeCamp, golden. And we need to set up chat on our phone. There we go. And now we have chat. We are good to go. Let's take it from the top. Again, limited time to stream today. We're going to see how big of a dent we can make in about 20-ish minutes or so. And, good times. Little kitty, you're going to need to find a different spot to hang out instead of right here on the keyboard and mouse. So, no, you're typing, I think, maybe. And you're scratching your face on things, and you're being a little kitty. Why don't you just go do something? No, these are not meant for you to rub your face on. You can nap on the desk if you're out of the way. You know the rules. Cool. Okay, from the top, create a form element. You can build web forms that actually submit data to a server using nothing more than pure HTML. You can do this by specifying an action on your form element. For example, form action. What are you doing? We've got food, and it's in like the to-go container because we finished eating prior to the stream. And now it's at the edge of the desk, and she's just inching it closer to the edge, and we're watching you, little cat. We can see clearly what you're doing. Typical. So distracting. What are we doing? For example, form stuff, HTML. Form action, URL where you want to submit form data. Closing form tag. Nest your text field in a form element. Add the action submit cat photo attribute to this form element. Okay. Something about something. Nest your input elements within a form element. Okay, we had our input element somewhere down here. So we're going to be putting our input element inside the form element. Make sure your form has an action attribute, which is set to submit cat photo. So the action would be submit cat photo, like so. And then make sure your form element has a closing tag. All right. I guess we can do the form element down here. I just wish we had a little more space instead of building right down here at the bottom. Let's give ourselves some breathing room, shall we? There we go. That's much better. Form. We are opening a form. And we are closing a form. That didn't work well at all for anybody. Here we go. Form. Way cool. No, why? Why does that look dumb? That's better. Now, inside of our form stuff, we will have action equals something. Quote. Does the slash is inside the quotes. Slash submit cat photo. Alright, we are... Yes. Goodish. They said how to have it between the form tags, so I kind of want to have it indented slightly. I think that's all right. There's no need... Is there a need for semicolons? No, there's no need for semicolons. Let's just run this. Good, good. We're gonna pump you up. One could only hope for such an activity, I suppose. I'm just trying to be positive in general. Adding a submit button to a form. Go time. Let's add a submit button to your form. By clicking this button, what did we actually just add? No, we were setting up the action for the form. Okay, we set up the action for the input. Let's add a submit button to your form. Clicking this button will send data from your form to the URL specified with your form's action attribute. Here's an example submit button. Button, type submit. This button submits the form. Closing button tab. Add a submit button to your form element with type submit. What? Add a submit button to your form. No. Add a submit button to your form element with type submit and submit as text. Okay, gotcha. We're going to be adding it to form. Its type will equal submit, and the text will read form. There we go. That's what we're looking for. So with that said, we need... Your form should have a button inside it. Your submit button should have the attribute like this. Button type submit. So that'll go below the input. I would assume it would go below the input. That would be weird if it came before. There we go. Button. Yarg. Closing button. Beautiful. Inside said button, we need type equals submit. Little kitty, you are rolling ever closer to the keyboard. Your spinal fur is grazing the escape key. I just think you should be aware of that if you're going to be... Hey, and your toes are pushing the food closer and closer to the floor. We're just going to set it on the floor. Avoid any tragic mishaps. What were we doing? We were setting up the submit. This button submits the form. Form button, type submit. Submit is the text. I don't think we actually need the quotes, but I believe we could just do this. Ta-da. Submit. It's alive. Escape velocity reached. We have seen another repeat one. Although it was the last one, we're going to pump you up. That was new. So there must be... It's probably not obviously not an infinite list, but a very, very large list. Maybe the list is smaller than I'm anticipating. I do think there's a random factor. I don't think we've seen all of the congratulatory statements yet. I have a feeling we're nearing the end, and I think we may have seen most of them. But yeah, I just want to know. I don't know why I want to know, but I want to see how many congratulatory ending, finishing statements they've got. I don't know why it's such a big secret. Use HTML5 to require a field. Cool. I can require things, huh? That's an interesting superpower to have. Sounds not interesting at all. I mean, I suppose if you were someone trying to manipulate legal documents, having the ability to require things being filled out could be a somewhat useful superpower, but outside of that, I actually don't think it would be very useful. What are we doing? You can require specific form fields so that your user will not be able to submit your form until he or she has filled them out. For example, if you want to make a text input, field required, you can just add the word required within your input element. You would use input type text required. Ta-da! See that? Just like a stowaway, sitting there, nestled in there with the rest of the group. Make your text input a required field so that your user can't submit the form without completing this field. Then try to submit the form without inputting any text. See how your HTML5 form notifies you that the field is required. Note this field does not work in Safari. Thank God we're using Chrome. We do have access to Safari, thanks to our Mac. Can people use Safari on a Windows machine? Because I can download Internet Explorer on my Mac. God knows I don't know why anyone would want to, but I've never taken the time to look if you can install Safari on a Windows machine. I know if you did like Boot Camp or Parallels or something, you actually had a Mac virtual machine or whatever, but you know, right? I don't think anyone's going out of the way to install Safari. Just something I've noticed. Although maybe I'm hanging out with the wrong non-Safari crowds. Maybe there's some big Windows Safari subculture that I just haven't stumbled across on Reddit yet. What am I doing? Looking at flea stuff and other actions. We're requiring things. God, we can get sidetracked easily, especially when we're looking at cat photos. Bad times. We've got limited time. We're doing good. We were doing good on making progress till we got completely sidetracked. Requiring things. There is Safari. Bagnala. Yay. Welcome. Again, back, whichever you prefer. Hopefully your evening/day is going well. There is Safari for Windows for some reason. Yeah, that's weird. I mean, that's cool that it exists. I don't know why anyone would actually want to install that on a Windows machine. It's good to know that the option's there, though, for any diehard Safari users. I'm not against Safari. It's just Chrome is so comforting, right? Yay, Chrome. Speaking of non-Safari things, requiring fields. Go time. Do it. We are looking at input right here. Placeholder. Ew. Required goes at the end. Required. Yes. Checkity check. Helm Warp 9 engaged. Good. That's a solid congratulatory statement. We have stumbled across a couple new ones tonight. I'm surprised. And we've stumbled across a couple repeats. Create a set of radio buttons. I always thought it was strange that they call... I don't know why. You know what? It's just dawning on me now. It's probably some historical reference to, like, an actual physical machine for radio button, maybe the light, but I always wanted to call them radial buttons because they're circular, and you click on it and it's a circle, so I feel like radial button is a far better name than radio button. But maybe there's some great backstory as to why they're radio buttons. Creating a set of radio buttons. You can use radio buttons for questions where you want the user. Oh, we were supposed to test it. Right. Submitting. Look at this. Please fill out this field. Does that show up on the stream, that little please fill out window? It doesn't. Okay, well, just maybe it does show up, but maybe it disappears as I click out of the window. I don't think it's showing up, but there is a little window that pops up underneath. It says, hey, get your shit together, put something in this field. So, just so we're all on the same page. Okay, you can use radio buttons for questions where you want the user to only give you one answer. Radio buttons are a type of input. Each of your radio buttons will be nested within its own label element. All related radio buttons should have the same name attribute. Here's an example of a radio button. Label, input, type, radio, name, indoor, outdoor, indoor label. Add a pair of radio buttons. Two stowaway radio buttons. That's what they want. They wrote it right down. Add a pair of radio buttons to your form. One should have the option of indoor and the other should have the option of outdoor. Okay. The name is the same though. Indoor, outdoor. But the actual button itself, what it will display, is dependent here between the label thingies. Let's go ahead and set that up. Form stuff. Do they want it below? See, again, they don't indicate where they want it. We're so close-ish. Not really. And we're labeling things. God, how much time left do we have? Like 10 minutes? 5 minutes? Tonight was a short stream. So we've only got minutes left to pull this off. I think we're going to put it above the submit button, because that just seems right. Label, followed by input. Yes. Good, and we're inputting. We should do the closing label tab before I forget. Something, and label, do stuff. Yes, closing label tab. So we've got input. Here is where said indoor label will go, but let's finish out the type. Beautiful. Look at that equal sign. And with a pair of trusty quotes, followed by radio nonsense, lack of space, name things, equals, quotes, indoor, / outdoor, and, not / hyphen, typical / hyphen, punctuation on punctuation violence. Tragic to see that happen. What are we looking at? Indoor. Good. Okay. So, with all that there, hopefully we didn't totally mess that up, because we're going to copy that and change this to outdoor. Outdoor. Capitalized. Great outdoors. Name is lowercase. The label itself is capitalized. Beautiful. Submit, hopefully. Aha! We've underestimated you. I don't think they have. I still think they're overestimating our skills. Okay, create a set of checkboxes. We've done 34. I wanted to get at least 5 done because we started at 30 since we had a short stream. 5 just seemed like a good goal to reach within the 20 minutes. If we can get more done within the before the timer goes off, way cool. Okay, good. Creating a set of checkboxes. Let's see what's going down in chat stuff. Okay, something about, there's a lot of commenty stuff going down. Yes, the Safari things. Sanity 21. Is anyone else having, like, struggles with the chat? Sanity 21. Welcome. You don't know what you're doing. You suck. Hashtag suck life. Right? No one is in here. Okay. Useful. Topher Gates, I'm here. Well, that's true. I mean, it's been 6 months. Well, of course, Topher's here. I'm here. Sanity 21, you are just talking to yourself. Stoof. Also good. Also Stoof. He's about to cry and fap. Quality stuff. Idiot Twitch troll. Oh, let him keep trying. That is my favorite one yet, though. I have your mom. Just as a general possession item. Good. Topher, oh sick burn. As I was saying, this guy suck. This guy sucked a long time. Yes? Perhaps not. We'll work on the grammatical things. More than my mom. Gotcha. He broke it into 2 comments. No one sucks more than your mom. Helpful comments. Stoof again. We gotta elaborate on that. Good one. He's super, well, I feel bad for the, well, you know what? No, there's nothing wrong with saying gay, right? That's a good thing. Look at him. I bet he doesn't have a girlfriend. Technically, that is true, since she's now my fiancé. So there is that. But, aside from that, we do have checkboxes that we need to deal with. So, forms of stuff. God, right? Checkboxes? Did we add the radial buttons? Indoor and outdoor. We need to tag those. And then do something else. There was cat things. Right? Not cat things. We did the radio buttons. And then form stuff. Oh, hear that. The alarm's going off. Damn. It's been 20-ish minutes. Yeah, 11:40. Okay, hold on. Let's land this bird. Let's finish this last activity. And then we can, once we finish this, we'll feel good, and then we'll land this and close out this stream. Okay, so forms commonly use checkboxes for questions that we're having highlighting issues. There we go. Forms commonly use checkboxes for questions that may have more than one answer. Checkboxes are a type of input. Each of your checkboxes should be nested within its own label element. All related checkbox inputs should have the same name attribute. Here's an example of a checkbox. Label input, type checkbox, name, personality, loving, label. Add to your form a set of 3 checkboxes. Each checkbox should be nested within its own label element. All 3 should share the name attribute of personality. Okay, so this. All 3 get the personality name. Way cool. Good. That's very similar to the radio buttons. I think I'm going to copy these. And then we'll just change it to checkbox. It just seems easier. I know copying's not the best thing to do, but in the interest of saving time, right? So, type things. I see more going on in the chat. English. Do you speak it? Yes, Topher, I do speak English. See, that's funny, because Topher wasn't talking to me. If I spoke English. He's talking to Sanity 21. Do you get it? Because it's funny. It's good. It's simple, stupid humor. It's teacher humor, which I love teacher humor. Okay. What are we doing? Mod me so I can ban hammer this mofo. We'll get there. And Sanity is on the stoof train again. We'll get there. Let me tackle this, and yeah, I need to super mod Topher. So that's just what we'll do. Something about labels. Labeling first. Label checkbox. Personality. We'll steal that. Okay. Personality. Followed by... What did we want to... Oh, 3 personality types? We don't have personality types. That's already an issue. They do have a space, I noticed, before each one. Do you see that? There is a tiny space before each label. Fascinating. They don't mention the space in any of those things, but they really should. I feel like that's a good kind of pro tip that people should be looking out for, you know? Okay, checkboxes, 3 personality. Is outdoor a personality? It could be outdoorsy. We will do quirky. Can we do quirky? No. We'll do more generic ones. Calm, and it's not a personality, but it should be. Especially for people with allergies like myself. Sneezy. Right. And, I don't know. We'll figure out a good third option. Alright. Ban me stream with pleasure. Your mom will be mine. I'm telling you, dude, that's my favorite comment from him so far. It sounds like it's a thing, like it's a trophy. Okay, what else are we looking for? We're even on a programming stream. Where is your mom at? Question mark. Tell me where all the mothers are. You'd make a good entry-level villain. Hopefully. Although I don't know what your goal is, though. You know, a goal makes... That's what makes a great villain, is having a mission. Let's set up a mission statement for you. We can come up... I think as a group collectively, we could come up with a good, beginner, achievable villain mission statement for Sanity 21. Help guide him on his path of collecting all the mothers in the world. It could be fun. But yet, is there an easy mod button? All these 5th graders. 1990s mom burns. Okay. Here, we'll see. Can we can... I can mod right from the phone. I kind of want to keep them around till the end, though. We'll mod Topher. No. Yeah. We should do it now. Topher, do we mod you now or mod you at the end of the stream? Interesting. Now he's just on copy pasta nonsense. So close. I think originality would help kind of show your commitment to the cause, but the copy and paste thing doesn't really help. Shows a general lack of effort on your part, Sanity. With more practice, you'll get better. I believe in you. So close. What are we looking for? We are looking for a third personality, and you know what we'll do? We'll mod. We can mod Topher. Topher, mod incoming to you, good sir. Hold on, what's going down? Weird constructor training trolls, you know, in my free time. Just I'm trying to help the community grow as a whole. There's both sides to the coin, you know, and I just it frustrates me because Gotham deserves a better villain. It deserves that better criminal. And no one's helping them. I just think it's unfortunate, you know? Trolls need help too, guys. Can't just all be about streamers trying to stream. We can't just shut all the trolls out. Where else would sanity go, right? He needs someone new to practice on, like me, and we can grow together. It'll be good. It'll be good. Topher, he's too stupid to be a good villain. That's true. Well, I mean, if you also, I mean, if we honestly look, all the good villains are really basically genius. And a lot of them are trying to do something good, they just have a wrong angle, and it ends up affecting a lot of people negatively. It just turns sour, which is unfortunate. Before Sanity was doing, well, it's only a couple lines up in his comments, but commenting about Hitler, it's unfortunate, because Hitler motivated a lot of people. It's unfortunate he didn't try to motivate, you know, building houses for the homeless, or something like that, or trying to inspire people to do good. I think he could have convinced just as many to, you know, donate to your local animal shelter or something like that. But instead, he had his focuses on something else, far more unfortunate. But that's the difference, you know? It's just with a little bit of guidance in the right direction, it keeps the world spinning. Keeps the world afloat. Okay. We were so close. Coming up with a third personality. It's not a personality, but it should be, yet again, another one. Do we have typo stuff in this field? No, that's not a typo at all. I was trying to see if we get, what's it called? Incorrect spelling. Consistent. I think that's consistency. Yeah, we'll just leave it with consistent. Alright, so those are 3 personalities. We're going to run that. Ta-da! Yes, we can, and yes, we did. Our timer did go off. We conquered this. 5 lessons down. Okay, we're good. We're going to save the check radio buttons and checkboxes by default for tomorrow. Let's go ahead, check our profile stuff. 35 down. Let's go ahead and mod Topher. Topher, here comes mod status. Are you sure you want to make Topher Gates a moderator? Hell yeah. Boom. Topher, you, sir, have been modded. You've added Topher Gates as a moderator of this room. Look at that. Let's all admire this, because Topher's been assisting for over 6 months now. Look at that. See? Topher. Modded. No. Kind of hard to see, but you know what? It's there. That's the important thing. Yay, Topher. Da-da-da-da-da-dee-dee-dee. Look at that. Topher with the mod sword icon. Not gonna lie, Topher, it looks good. It looks real good next to that username. Banned. Alright. I think that's a great way to celebrate today's stream. It was a short stream. We did make progress. And Topher is now modded, right? Which should have been modded a long time ago, but it also took us 6 months to set up the Discord link, so clearly it takes a while for us to do basic things. But we stick it out, because that's what we do here at BDX Inc. Alright, we are good on this. Weird Constructor, good riddance. Yes, I agree. Best of luck to Sanity. You got your first troll. I think that was our first most determined troll. I want to say the name was like one of those awful username, like Quincy37598. Like there's way more numbers than actual username portion. I think he stopped by twice. Maybe it was different. Maybe there were just two people with like the first letter being Q in their username and then followed by like 37 numbers. He stopped by once or twice, or they, but it was very brief. I think they lost interest. I don't think they enjoyed the Code Academy content, to be quite honest. But yeah, good times. Got your first troll. Moving up. Exactly. Growing. Ever slowly, but it's been interesting. All right. Well, with that said, do we have anything else to do to back out? There's not a lot of like statistical stuff here at CodeCamp. It's just a lot of progress, which is a good sign. Good setup. Thank you again to everyone stopping by. We are backing out of freeCodeCamp into OBS. Thank you to everyone for stopping by. Topher Gates, as always. Thank you. Now, modded, awesome. Weird Constructor, good to have you too. Bagnala, also. Thank you for stopping by. Even Sanity21 for sticking around for the whole stream. That's, that takes effort. Usually people only stop by for a few minutes and then they're gone. So, thank you anyways. Thank you to anyone else who may have accidentally stumbled in here to view the stream. Any and all views are greatly appreciated, including trolls. I won't forget about you. Steven cares, damn it. Steven cares. Gotham deserves that better citizen. No, criminal. Gotham deserves a better criminal. Okay, we're powering down. We are stopping the stream. Are you sure you want to stop the stream? Hell yeah. Kill it.